As many of you may know, I'm a huge Batman fan. As a matter of fact, I have 2 Batmobiles. Well, 2.5 Batmobiles. The Batsmart and the original 1966 Batmobile were designed and created by legendary custom car creator George Barris, who was known as the king of customizers in Hollywood for decades. So when one of his cars, the Calico Surfer, popped up at an auction a few years ago, I bought it and then asked George to take a look at it and give me his 2 cents as to what his long-lost creation might need in order to bring it back to its former glory. We had a couple of great days together, both at his shop to look at the old files and at my place to inspect the car. Sadly, not long after that, I lost a good friend. George passed away in November of 2015, but what an opportunity and cherished time it was to get to know this amazing and unique man a little better as we talked about his creations like the Calico Surfer. Take a look. So we're at George Barris's historic shop, Barris Customs, here in Hollywood, California. And if you know anything about automobiles in movies and just the history of some crazy cars, the Batmobile, the 66 Batmobile, George Barris is the guy. I've picked up a couple of Barris cars, and this is one I just want to show him. The second one we'll show you in a little while that hopefully he's going to redo and take it back to the original condition. But I'm going to go get George right now. He hasn't seen this one yet.
Oh my God! Oh my God, one of my dune buggies.
Yeah, the dune buggies, and this is a 64, I think?
You know, we got a lot of history on these cars.
Yeah.
Manson,
Right?
you know how he got caught? One of my dune buggies was at the dealer. He went in there with the girls and said, well, my girls want to test drive it. They went in, took the car, and out to the desert they went. So the police was able to go into the desert because they had to get my car back. And that's how they got a hold of Manson. They picked up the buggy and they threw him in jail.
So Charles Manson stole one of these dune buggies, and that's how he was eventually caught. But now, thank you for making this car slightly creepier. Before we go, is there any way we can go inside and just to look at the shop just a little bit?
Sure, come on.
That'd be awesome.
The movie industry loved me because I was what you call an illegal street dragger.
Right.
I raced on the streets. Everybody would line up on each side, up in there swing dancing, and 2 guys would be getting ready to race. And as they're going down Sepulveda, the only problem is going down this way with the race cars doing 100 miles an hour, coming up the other way is 6 sets of red lights. Here comes the police.
And how many times?
Everybody's going in all different directions to get out of there because they don't want to get tickets.
And how many times were you arrested?
Well, it isn't getting arrested, but I got home and found a few bullet holes in my trunk.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So I've been threatened by terrorists, but I haven't been thrown in jail.
There's a hideaway down in here. All over the world, these are all original photos and history, working with people like you and our friends that we had for so many years. And that gives you an idea of who do you want to talk to? You want to talk to Sinatra? You want to talk to Dean Martin, Phyllis Diller?
I mean, the names go on and on. There's Madonna.
Yeah.
There's John Travolta.
Everyone you can think of.
And you built cars for every one of these people.
Every one of these wonderful people.
Now, can I just pick a box and let's open it up and see what the picture is?
Sure.
All right, so I'm just going to be very random here. I'm going to go with Kiss.
Yes. Ready?
All right,
guys. Look at that van, huh?
That's amazing. And so,
Kind of wild, huh? And they took that on stage. That just gives you an idea of the many different fun people that we had in all different directions.
all right, how about one more? Let's see.
See what Elton John.
Elton John. All right.
Remember the glasses he wore?
Yeah.
I made a buggy for him so that he would be driving behind his glasses. There's the bow tie.
So is the glasses and the bow tie on the
The
front?
glasses and bow tie. And when he put his star in the ground in Hollywood at the Chinese Theater,
Yeah.
that's what he drove up in.
All right, George, so I found the box.
So, well, this is Calico.
Calico, right.
Uh-huh.
So the Calico Surfer.
The Calico Surfer was a major car.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yep.
What does it look like? Something like.
It looks like a surfboard.
Yep.
Yeah, there. I know because it's sitting in my warehouse right now.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, isn't that great? Look at how the colored wood.
Yeah. But the former owner did away with the red interior, and that's what I want to do. I want to take it back to this red interior, and some of the lamps have been changed out, and we just want to take it back to what it looked like then. Okay, can I say something?
Sure.
These horrible seat covers, we have to get them back. What? I mean, it looks to me like those were curtains hanging in a beach house somewhere.
It could be, because that was the time it could be where I got those curtains when I had the family up at Big Bear. So we got the curtains up at Big Bear, and we had the earthquake, and all my curtains came down. So I probably took the curtains from there and used it to make the car.
What they did to it now, it's not good. They made the seats blue, but no, we got to go back to all this crushed velvet and this red and white.
Okay. Well,
at
least we got all the original colors for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a few details. For some reason, they changed out the side lanterns.
Uh-huh.
Those aren't exactly the same. The trophy, the surf trophy on the front, isn't exactly the same.
Uh-huh.
But
how about the supercharger?
That's all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But we don't know if it runs. Well, there it is.
Oh my God! Looks like my good old days are coming back.
But it's in surprisingly good shape. It's just, there's no power to it. I don't know if the battery, I don't know if it'll turn over. So you guys get to go through the whole thing. The lamps that you had were different and better. And you can even see where they brazed over the original holes. I'd love to, if we can source the original looking lamps.
And I got them at a hardware store.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just cheap lamps from like Bob's lamps.
Yeah.
You see the interior, they try to make it all blend and look pretty.
Well, yeah, they didn't get the right color anyhow.
Right.
They were going to blend, they should have blended, but they didn't.
Right. And then they bought an awful, that plastic fake wood steering wheel.
Yeah.
That's not right. And then the back, again, they put in all this blue velour, and yours was red, and I think the red's much cooler.
Oh, this is terrible. It just totally takes away from what the identification of what the Calico Surfer was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Means you're going to go out there and get the rock and roll thing,
Right.
not old,
Right.
dismal looking suede.
And then this was real wood, right?
Yes, absolutely plywood.
Oh, is that right? There's
Yeah.
plywood? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So it's just laminate plywood.
Uh-huh. We found the easiest way as possible.
Sure. And then the other thing that I noticed was the little surfer guy here is not the same.
Oh, no, when I walked in the door, I said, where'd you find him?
So we got to find one of the original
Well,
ones. 'Cause
what we
just
have to do is look at our photos, enlarge the photo,
Right.
and then we're gonna have to go on a beach search.
All right.
I don't mind that. Basically, it's just a few little things.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If there was something really major, all that Paxton supercharging, things like that,
Yeah.
that's hard to find today.
Right. When you see something like this, is this like an old friend? Well, what do you think when you see something like that?
Every car is family. Mm-hmm. It's historical. Mm-hmm. It's like a family.
Right.
Like the cars that you have for your collection is family.
Yeah.
It's not because you want to collect a car you want to sell down the street, I just got back from Gallenberg, Tennessee, the museum there.
Right.
And I'm sitting there signing autographs, and the people go, Batmobile, Dad, come over here. There's a Batmobile, a real Batmobile, and right away we open the door, let them get in there, and click, click, click. And,
Well, George, I appreciate the time so much, and thank you so much for coming over here.
Alright.
And this is going to be just a great project, and I'm just honored to be able to work with you, and thanks for agreeing to this.
Okay, well, you got one problem.
What?
You're stuck with me.
Thanks, George.
Okay.
All right. After taking all of George's notes and then painstakingly studying numerous old photos from 1963, I worked with some of the guys at Galpin Ford here in LA, and they did an incredible job of sourcing parts, pieces of materials, and went to work. Well, this is the result. A complete, almost rotisserie restoration of George Barris's Calico Surfer. We went through this car from front to back and not only made it look just right, but also made it ready again for cruising Southern California. For example, right here on the front, the hood ornament Surfer Trophy. This was tough to find, but it's the exact match for what was on there before. You can tell because the bathing suit is up to here. We paid attention to every detail possible. For example, these side lamps. They match almost exactly what George had on the car originally. He said he got his at a hardware store. So did we. And then, if you know surfboards, Greg Knoll made the original one way back in 1963. Well, we found Greg Knoll's son, who custom built this one to match the photos. Perfect. The engine, fully rebuilt, Mustang 302 with a Paxton supercharger. What's the power in this thing? How many horses? With that supercharger, we have no idea. But I tell you this car will do wheelies, and I'm not kidding. And most importantly, the interior. It's absolutely perfect. The material on the seats is an exact match to George's alleged Big Bear curtains. And this horrible faux fur, horrible and perfect. As is the crushed velvet. Yeah, baby. But what I love most about this is, as crazy as it may look, George had an eye for putting all this nutty stuff together. And more times than not, it worked. It's easy to see how this and that all came from the same creative nutball genius. And now Calico gets to hang out in my shop. Well, it doesn't just hang out, if you know what I'm saying. This thing can run. I'm pretty sure George would be happy to know that this vehicle is back on the road, turning heads, beating everybody off the line, and keeping his legend alive as one of the greatest custom car builders in history.